later. I told you earlier I was going to steal from Tony and Mike from PTI, and if I say to you, what's the word about Game 7? What word describes this game?
I'm going to use a word that has multiple meanings because you only give me one. So I'm going to use the word green.
Okay.
And here's what I mean by that. The Celtics were too green. The guys that you needed to come through in a big way, young players, 3 starters, third year or less, 2 of those guys were abominable tonight. They couldn't make a shot. Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier. The moment was clearly a little bit too big for them. So they're a green, young team. And then green for the Cavaliers. LeBron needed someone to start making some shots to take some of the pressure off of him. Jeff Green stepped up in an enormous way to make some corner threes. JR had a pretty good second half as well. So for me, LeBron needed 2 guys to play well, and the Celtics had to have 2 guys, 2 key guys, not be abominable. They didn't get that because 2 of their main guys were really bad tonight, and it hurt them offensively.
And you and I had I beg your pardon for jumping on you. You and I had a conversation before this game started tonight, and I said, I just presume that LeBron will go for 40, 10, and 10 because that's what he does. And in the end, he goes for 35, 15, and 9. Yeah. So the amazing thing is that by his standards, this is average to almost even slightly below what was anticipated, which just speaks to how unfair the expectations are. But what did he, in your eyes, deliver?
Well, nothing he's done at this point surprises me. He's gone from a guy early in his career and early in his postseason runs that we sort of doubted, and you waited for that moment where maybe he wouldn't come through, to a guy that now you expect what you saw tonight.
Right.
Now, you knew LeBron was going to be great. Everybody else was a wild card.
I totally agree.
How are guys going to play? You kind of knew what you were going to get out of him, and you got that. And for me, it came down to the quality of your possessions when it mattered were so much greater for the Cavaliers because they have LeBron James. For the Celtics, still trying to figure this out and not having an elite scorer like a Kyrie Irving in that moment, you had some young guys trying to figure this out on the fly. The quality of their possessions the last 8 minutes of the game were just not good enough to win this game. LeBron controlled the game physically. That's what he does night in, night out. Never in a bigger moment than on the road in Game 7.
Yeah, and we'll take a deeper dive with you a little bit later. And for now, I want to welcome in Mark Jackson, who we've enjoyed on the call throughout. And Mark, as you were watching this game, Tim Legler was just mentioning how the young guys from Boston, I mean, clearly they fell in love with the 3 and they just couldn't make those shots. Did you find yourself surprised at how reliant Boston chose to be on the 3, particularly as the game got really tight late?
I thought at times they played like a young, inexperienced team. Finally, you could see how much they missed Kyrie Irving's ability to make plays, get into the paint, and score at the hoop. They rushed trying to make home run plays, some ill-advised three-point shots. But this is a young, talented Boston team that we're going to see for a long time to come. To me, it's more so about the greatness of LeBron James and how he put his team on his back and found a way to will them to the finals.
Yet again, and you made that point on the call, Mark, you and Jeff and Mike, about what it was you were seeing. And at some point, we almost become numb to the level of greatness because this is 8 consecutive years. As a guy who's played in the league, coached in the league, how do you even frame what that is, man? 8 consecutive years, get through the gauntlet and have a chance to play for the ultimate prize.
It's tough to do. You think about it. I'm a sports fan, not just basketball. I can remember Dan Marino going to the Super Bowl in his rookie year, and that was it. How many opportunities do you get? I played 17 years and went to the finals once. Here's a guy going 8 straight times, and is a testament to how he takes care of his body, is a testament to his organizations, is a testament to his teammates. He deserves a lot of credit, and he is going to go down in the discussion with anybody that's ever played this game.
I loved how you framed it because it is a discussion, and us old guys that saw a different guy that wore 23 play, we have a hard time with it, but as the legacy grows, I mean, it becomes very difficult to discount what it is we're seeing. I think we should appreciate it. And as you said, we are all witnesses to this greatness, Mark. Appreciate the time. We'll talk again during the finals, all right?
Thanks, Scott.
All right. Thank you, sir. We welcome in now Paul Pierce. And, Paul, I get to you the same way I've gotten to you throughout. You've lived this both as a Celtic and as a guy who's tried to deal with LeBron James. You were in the building. What, if anything, surprised you about what you saw tonight?
Well, it wasn't much surprise. You know, LeBron was going to come in here and play great. The surprising thing is the role players. You know, Jeff Green filling in for Kevin Love came out here and really gave him a big lift. J.R. Smith hit some big shots. Tristan Thompson was solid. And that's all LeBron ever needs is a couple of guys to step up because you know he's going to be remarkable. And what he's done is nothing short of spectacular. Getting back to the NBA Finals with this group, he lost his partner in crime, Kevin Love, another All-Star, and to come in here in Game 7 in Boston, where Boston hasn't lost a game, is nothing short of remarkable.
Brown, Rozier, and Smart combined go 3 for 26 from 3 in this game. Those young guys were spectacular throughout this playoff run. Paul, when they take inventory of this game and how reliant they got on that 3, what will they learn about what happened and where it went wrong?
Well, they really rushed those possessions. You know, they fell in love with the 3. I think it all happened especially when they got down. I think they just relied on the 3 too much. They rushed some shots. And it's just something they have to learn from. You know, LeBron pretty much controlled the game in the fourth quarter. They have to learn to get quality possessions. There was a stretch where Jason Tatum, he got the dunk, he got the 3-point, and then he doesn't touch the ball for another couple minutes. And then when he does, it's a turnover. So, you know, this is an experience these young guys have to learn from. They're going to go back, watch the tape, and just build on it for next year. But the future is bright. Nobody even thought they would be here one game away for a chance to play in the championship. So these guys are going to keep their heads high, and it's definitely a learning experience for them.
And they ought to, Paul, because this is ahead of schedule for sure, and they've got a couple of all-stars that were on the bench with injuries. But I'm just curious if you could describe for me, when you're young and it finally gets frantic, and you know it's Game 7, and you realize now, oh no, we're behind. How hard is it to manage your emotions, and how hard is it to find that poise when you just haven't been in that situation yet?
Well, you know, I've never been in that situation. In my first 3 years, I never made the playoffs. You know, you got a first-year guy leading them, a second-year guy, and a third-year guy in the moment. You know, this is all brand new for them, being the leaders of this team in a Game 7. You know, I could just see how they can press. They want it so bad that they rush and make mistakes. That's just all part of the game. You know, when you haven't been there in this type of situation, playing against LeBron one game to go to the championship, you could just see how there's a certain nervousness that comes with it when you haven't been in that moment before. So it's just a learning experience. These guys are going to learn from it, get better. And if they get in this situation again next year, whether it be against LeBron or whoever, they'll be ready.
That's great context, though. You had a legendary career, but these guys, these youngsters were doing something that you didn't do that early. So it's silly to expect them to be as poised and as seasoned as the other guys they were up against. Paul, I appreciate your time so much. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk again soon, okay?
All right. All right, Scott.
That's